Miles of quiet, empty beach on Long Island. Imagine beneath that calm surface lies one of America's darkest secrets.
New developments tonight in the Gilgo Beach Murders.
Suspected serial killer on New York's Long Island has been arrested.
The man accused of being the Gilgo Beach serial killer, Rex Heuermann, who denies all charges.
13 bodies dumped in the shadows.
Rex Heuermann now stands accused of killing 7 women and dumping their bodies on Long Island over the course of more than 2 decades.
And the man behind it all? The last person you'd ever expect. A family man, an architect, the guy living right next door.
Police say Rex Heuermann, a New York City architect, is the suspected serial killer they've been hunting for over a decade. He was arrested near his Manhattan office last night and arraigned today.
He's a demon that walks among us. A predator that ruined families.
How did Rex Heuermann keep his secret for decades? And how many more stories does Gilgo Beach still hide? The question is, do you really know who's living next door to you?
This case is not over.
How many more victims could there be?
It all started in May 2010. Shannon Gilbert, 24, a sex worker trying to make ends meet, called 911 from a gated Long Island community. Her voice was frantic, desperate. She told dispatchers she was being chased.
Why are you calling me by my name?
What's the matter? Are you okay?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me?
Let's go back to Manhattan.
Stop it, please. Stop it, please. Please stop it. Please stop it, no.
Police say that's the voice of Michael Pack, Gilbert's bodyguard.
Please, can you shut the door?
No, time to go.
Please, something's going to happen to me.
There's nobody outside.
They're after me, she said, pleading for help. That was the last time anyone saw Shannon.
People call 911 too.
43 the Bayou. Some woman is knocking at my door. She says she's in danger.
When police began searching, they found 4 bodies near Gilgo Beach, wrapped in burlap sacks, abandoned by the side of a lonely road. Melissa Barthélemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes. Young women, all connected by a brutal fate. Melissa was small in stature but fierce in spirit. Her sister later told police about disturbing phone calls from a man using Melissa's cell phone.
6 days later, her mother reported her missing, and nothing was found for a little while. However, once she was reported missing, her sister began receiving phone calls from her phone that were obviously not from her. It is thought that these were from the killer. He was calling Melissa's younger sister to taunt her about the death of her sister.
Megan was a devoted mom with dreams for her child.
She didn't deserve this, just like nobody else's mother or sister or daughter deserves this. She really was a fabulous person, just lost in life.
Amber struggled with addiction but was fiercely loved by her family. Maureen was a single mom with a bright smile that masked hardship. They weren't just statistics, they were people whose lives were stolen. Over the next months, women like Jessica Taylor, missing since 2003, and Valerie Mack, who disappeared in 2000. Their bodies, like the others, were dumped along the same remote highways and beaches. Despite the mounting evidence, the investigation hit walls. Turf wars between Suffolk County Police and the FBI left the case in limbo. The families of these women refused to stay silent. They demanded justice in a system that often ignored their daughters because of who they were.
They want justice for those who were murdered and who were buried at Gilgo Beach. There can be no healing without justice.
Valerie Mack, a 24-year-old mother, brutally murdered back in the year 2000.
The evidence is we have mitochondrial DNA from a hair that was found on the body of Valerie Mack.
In 2022, a new task force was finally established, giving fresh momentum to the cold case. With new technology and federal resources, investigators began to connect dots others had missed. Rex Heuermann seemed like the perfect suburban dad, an architect with a steady job, living in Massapequa Park. Nobody saw the darkness beneath his calm exterior. A green Chevy spotted near victim disappearances, cell phone pings placing burner phones near his home and office,
Heuermann lived on this quiet street in Massapequa, Long Island. He was arrested near his Manhattan office last night and arraigned today. Investigators were led to Heuermann initially after a witness reported seeing a pickup truck when one of the victims disappeared in 2010. Evidence including burner phones used to arrange meetings with the victims.
We're continuing to execute search warrants, and we anticipate getting more evidence.
And DNA from a pizza crust outside his office matching a hair found on a victim.
Investigators later recovered his DNA from a pizza crust he discarded in Manhattan and matched it to genetic material found on the bodies.
Investigators collected Heuermann's DNA from a discarded pizza crust and linked him to a hair found on a burlap covering Megan Waterman's remains.
His home was a chilling scene. Over 200 guns, disturbing collections, and photos that made investigators uneasy.
Also say they used evidence recovered from the 350 electronic devices investigators seized from Heuermann's home, including a significant collection of violent, bondage, and torture pornography. Officials say some of the images of tied-up women and mutilation are consistent with Mac's injuries.
Rex Heuermann blended in like just another guy next door. A husband, a father, an architect with a stable career. No one imagined the man behind the quiet smile was the prime suspect in one of the country's most chilling serial murder cases.
Oh, okay, Kevin Nitz-Maker Hammer. Okay.
It is persuasive enough when I need to persuade something.
Not someone.
Something.
July 13th, 2023. The Suffolk County Police Department and FBI worked together for months behind the scenes. Just a quiet arrest as Rex left his Manhattan office, carrying a briefcase. Heuermann was charged with 7 counts of murder, including the 4 women found near Gilgo Beach and 3 more from earlier disappearances.
This is an individual who was a professional. He has no prior criminal history, was used to getting on a train in the morning, going to work, supporting his family, and coming home at night. I know that the district attorney is trying to put closure to these victims. What prosecutors like to do often is kind of use one case to bootstrap another case. In terms of speaking to my client, the only thing I can tell you that he did say as he was in tears was, "I didn't do this."
But Heuermann's defense team fought tooth and nail. They questioned the reliability of the DNA tests, called into doubt the cell phone data, and argued the evidence was circumstantial. For the families of the victims, the trial was a mixed bag of emotions. Relief that a suspect was finally behind bars, but also fresh wounds. This doesn't erase the pain. It's a small step toward justice, but our daughters are still gone.
My love for Jessica. I'm fighting for her because she can't fight for herself. I just want to say that I'm grateful for the hard work that's been done. I'm grateful that today is happening, and I'm hopeful for the future. I hope that she's remembered as a beautiful young woman, not what her occupation was at that time, and she's loved and missed every day. Full justice is all the cases being closed.
Investigated another case up there in Buffalo with a young lady who died, Amanda Winchowski, in 2009. She was naked. She was a sex worker, heroin addict, and she was naked, frozen, and left upside down inside a garbage can with the top on her, and the police concluded that it was an accidental death. There's connections in various places. We've managed to find some rings that are operating in Buffalo that also connect with California, where Melissa Barthélemy went, Winchowski went, and Shannon Gilbert went, all at the same time to California, where there are other people in operating sex rings as well. So this thing could be very far, in a far stretch.
Even as the trial unfolded, questions loomed large. Was Heuermann acting alone? Could there be more victims? What secrets still lurk beneath the sands of Gilgo Beach? For the families, life after the arrest was about healing, but also remembering. Memorials at Gilgo Beach became places of peace and reflection, honoring the women who were taken too soon. The case sparked a national conversation about how we treat sex workers, the marginalized, the forgotten. It exposed cracks in the justice system and a need for change. But some mysteries remain. How many more victims never found? Was Heuermann a lone wolf or part of a larger network? And what else lies buried beneath the sand, waiting to be uncovered? Gilgo Beach teaches us that monsters don't always lurk in dark alleys. Sometimes they live right next door. The eyes of a community, the voices of the forgotten. That's what brings justice home. Remember the victims. Seek justice. Stay vigilant. Because in the end, every life matters. Every story deserves to be told.